Alright, welcome back. It's the Vault. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little late. Full moon was in Virgo, 29th degree, kind of occulting the star speaker, right? So we cannot just say about what we see. So full moon in Virgo gives the intention and realization, right? About how to adapt through details, adapt through service, health. Virgo is analytical, it's efficient, it's a bit critical, and it is the field of organization. So it's kind of like, all right, how do I organize these things? Full moon in Chitra, in the month of Chitra, is symbolic of the beginning of the springtime. You dig what I'm saying? We done passed the vernal equinox, and sun is soon set to go into Aries and exaltation. And shortly after that, moon will be going into Taurus. That's one of the best days. You dig what I'm saying? It's a very, very fruitful, abundant day. So if you look at this gem, right? Let's zoom in. Let me use my hand. So the moon right there with the hand of the maiden, the hand of Astrea or Dyke, could be Circe's, could be Demeter, right? So in her left hand, she hold an ear of grain. Grain is like grain is a blessing to us because it doesn't really require pollinators. So it's just kind of always going to be ready for harvest. You know what I'm saying? And it is symbolic of the harvest. And her left hand is symbolic of the harvest. Right? What else, guys? Let me go to my notes. I don't want to wing it too much. You just talk about that part and stuff. So salutations to Lord Ganesha, who has curved trunk, who has a large body, and whose splendor is similar to a million suns. O Lord, please make my undertakings free of obstacles by extending your blessings on all my work always. So, you feel me? In the top left, this is the chart. So we got moon in the 29th degree of Virgo. Of course, it's going to be opposite sun. So this is about an alignment. The two witnesses to the personality are the moon and sun, respectively. And when they go into new moon, full moon, quarter moon, lunations, it causes a certain realignment or an alignment. Moon is going to be opposite a whole bunch of other planets, but the degree is not really that. It's not really a close degree at all. But those influences do come in play. So the public will be dealing with restrictions or illusions and openings as it pertains to materials, because Rahu, Mercury, Venus all have influence in rajasic, passionate, materialistic pursuits. Saturn there is kind of like creating delays, but Saturn, what he does, he just want things to be revealed, the authenticness, you feel me? All the swindle, flim flam, scamming, Saturn kind of not with that, you feel me? So trade wars, they showing you like, oh man, we organize, build these bags, and Virgo shows efficiency. So it's like, yeah, we make these bags and these clothes that y'all like and they good. You would think, oh yeah, that's not the real thing, that's a knockoff. But it's like, it's all made in the same factory. The bootleg jumps is still made in the same factory. Like, everybody trying to get they cut off top because they understand you'll pay a crazy exorbitant rate for the things that you desire. Oh, and you wanted a whole bunch too, because Venus is with Rahu, so you want a whole bunch. But you don't see the little other things going on. Alright. So then moon is in a slight trine to Jupiter during that day. And that just brings elevation in mood, certain blessings, certain grace, a little bit of charity. Alright, so let's just continue, right? So Virgo, dual quality earth element ruled by Mercury, has a Rahu influence. So Virgo adapts for details, improvements, and service. Full moon in Virgo is just going to adapt to things that they feel that they can improve and or make better. So the energy is finicky and anxious. 5 questions to ask. One, have I been too picky, pedantic, or critical of myself or anyone else? Nah. Um, I feel like that Jupiter aspect is giving a lot more grace in that. So, but I will say in terms of being picky, it's telling you can like you be picky about. Oh no, I don't want that because that's cheap, or I don't want that because this or that, whatever little clout and tier three, tier four level crash outs you might have to do, right? But don't be so critical because it's all like, you know, if a person selling you something, Virgo just saying like you want good things. You want somebody to sell you something that's efficient and functional as opposed to like just fashion. That's, you know, I don't know who that is. Two, have I been humble to the point of underrating myself? That's a question to ask. Three, have I been of service to others enough this month? Four, have I been worrying and complaining too much and thus attracting negativity? Five, have I paid enough attention to the details that I need to this month? So the message here is to remember the importance of being helpful to others. Find a balance between being down to earth and then allowing yourself to dream. So we talk about that moon opposite the Pisces stellium, a lot of illusions and fantasies about the things that you desire and crave is kind of being like, oh, you know, but did you know like you ain't really gotta pay that much, right? When you separate all of the like greed out of it, it's like people just want to do business with their friends. So somebody make bags just want to meet people that want to put things in bags. Here you go, I have something for you. Why would I want to break your pockets? If you spending like 15,000 on this purse, you may not ever use that junk. It probably be rare. You wouldn't want to stain it or something like that. But if I told you this purse really only $200 and it look nice, you'll keep that junk with you everywhere, especially if you don't have the glamour that's involved in there. There it is. So yeah, so once sun go into Aries later this day, on the 13th that night, it's a brand new way of seeing things. I ain't gonna back. Sun is prana, life force, energy. Sun going Aries, the life force just get charged. It's almost amazing. Like just every breath you're gonna enjoy it. You're just gonna enjoy breathing or something like that. You feel me? I'm just saying like in a simple way. So the star is Chitra, star of opportunity, a creative and dynamic star. It's a lot of efforts in this star or the energy. The symbol for Chitra is the pearl or jewel, gem. Gems, they're precious metals, right? Or yeah, they're precious metals that are made even more brilliant through the process of like cutting and polishing it. And as they cut, you make cuts to the surface, then you polish that surface, and it clarifies the light that emanates or is reflected into it, right? And as a, what would you say, like a symbol for our life, like a life lesson, is to say like sometimes you're gonna have to cut certain things out of your life. You're gonna have to really in a gem or a diamond and stuff like that. It's hard material. So what you got to use to cut it is things that almost seem like it's not of this world. You dig what I'm saying? You would have to use lasers and super sharp a blast of water, like a crazy intense consistent blast of water. You understand what I'm saying? In order to shape and mold that stone to give it certain clarities. Right, so in life, you know, Chitra is a tamasic nakshatra, which means there's a lot of darkness, some dullness, some difficulties, and hardships that is associated with it. But the tamasic element relates to inertia or the inert force, the remainder. You feel me? The endless remainder, which the Lord uses as a means to create with, because it's kind of dull. It's like, okay, well, I can mold it. So that's what Chitra telling us, right? So pearls grow in clams and oysters, but they come from being irritated. Some sand gets into the clam and or the oyster, and as a result, their bodies begin to isolate it and create a pearl around it, right? Over time, it creates a pearl. And then that pearl usually is going to be round because clams, oysters, they're going to sit at the seafloor, ocean floor, seafloor, however deep it may be. And it's a lot of gravitational pull. The new moon was in Uttar Bhadrapada, associated with gravity itself, the things that come down from heaven onto earth. All things in heaven do advantage those things on earth. You feel me? So pressure, oceanic pressure and stress. A small speck of sediment or mineral deposits, and then over time it just kind of like polishes and molds it within it to various degrees and or lusters, right? So and then like the key is a pearl wouldn't even be able to necessarily be manifested within a clam or oyster without that oyster and or clam first being open. So you gotta open yourself up sometimes. You feel me? Open yourself up. Allow yourself to be molded. Water is kind of a universal force. So it's like if they sitting in the water and they feeling the pressures of the water, it's just like they, in a way, we could, if we talk about us, so it's like you will be letting the universe, you feel me, letting the Milky Way, right, mold you in an authentic way. One of the slogan or the code and whatnot for Chitra is the creator needs honesty and truth to create reality. So when you want things to change in your life, you gotta have an authentic desire for it, maybe the authentic intent. Are you gonna have to be honest with yourself? You feel me? Like, what really are your strengths? What really are your weaknesses? What things do you have to shake off? What difficulties are you going through, and how can you transmute them? Right? You gotta measure yourself. So look, presiding deity is Vishwakarma, the celestial archetype, maker of weapons, god of craftsmen and tradesmen. Right? Engineers, architects, craftsmen, carpenters, all those things. Right? So he has all the tools, like he's depicted on the seat, and all around him is just every tool you could think of: rulers, squares, compasses, levels, pens, markers, anything used to measure, anything used to mark, anything used to dispose, or so Vishwakarma is chief disposer. As chief disposer, when you dispose of something, it's not throwing it away. In this instance, it's about putting things in their position. So it's like, okay, I got a blueprint and a schematic for this. And now we have to engineer a certain outcome. In order to do that, we have to put this screw here, that screw there. We got to measure this out to however many angulars or arms lengths and stuff like that. Right, cubits and stuff. Okay. So when you think about Vishwakarma, it's like he telling us that Vishwakarma as deity of Chitra, full moon and Chitra, is kind of like, it's telling the people to consider, whatever you've been through. If it was dark, it was dull. If it is difficult, take it into your own hands. You feel me? Be authentic. Take it into your own hands. Because clearly, if things it's difficult and confusing, you're probably being lied to, and then like you might have fallen into the, like, what is that? Conditioning. Things you was taught to do. Things you seen somebody else do. You feel me? Gotta get up out of that. So he is the builder of weapons, tools, cities, chariots, or cars. Right? Associated with the trades. Just something personal, like I ended up enrolling for some trades. Like Vishwakarma is just like he presides over those that, I would say, trades, man, those that do crafts, carpentry. As a builder of city, if he's a builder of a city and a builder of tools, everybody that have tools kind of gonna come under the influence of Vishwakarma. What are cities really built off of? You gotta survey it, you gotta level it out, you gotta find out where the hills and the valleys are. The construction, then the city had to have power, so you got the electricity, and then people gotta have comfort, so then you get the HVAC. People have to have furniture and beds, so then you get the carpentry. You understand what I'm saying? How everything, like, okay, Vishwakarma is he who builds cities. So everything that is associated with city, down to the street light, down to the manholes and stuff like that, sewage, plumbing, I think that is associated with Vishwakarma. So Vishwakarma is the name or the title. It was used for any powerful god, or rather as an attribute of the highest. So chief disposer, he put things in their rightful place and position. He inspires us to take our life into our own hands, not from ego, like, oh man, things like greed or clout, you feel me? But through authenticity. And that authenticity is going to be reflected um, in the Shakti, because the Shakti gives the power to accumulate good karma or merit. And through good karma, you can rise to the heavens. And that's the desire for Chitra, right? So most Tamasic star, which means it's just most dull, difficult, chaotic to a degree. You feel me? It creates darkness and a brutish quality. But Vishwakarma and the pearl as a symbol shows us that we can make something very beautiful out of darkness and difficulties. I know a nigga that got sun in Chitra and he say it's never any pressure. I know another nigga that got sun in Chitra and he was first a wise guy. He was like, nah, it's fish, the motto fish. This was when like everybody was talking YOLO and all that shit. That nigga was like, nah, it's fish, nigga. Fuck it, shit happens. Fuck it, shit happens. But yeah, you move forward, you can still make beautiful things happen. One of those chitras is, I think, manifesting generator. The other chitra is projector. And then think about NBA YoungBoy. He got son in chitra. And it's like, damn, nigga, live murder raps. But that his shit fire. I ain't gonna back. He really understand the music. So the tarot is Ten of Pentacles. We almost done. Ten of Pentacles is the last deacon of Virgo, and this is about like the complete. It tends to show completion. And as you can see, they look like they inside of city walls. They got it's dogs right here, so there's loyalty. It's people being loyal. You feel me? There's some gentleness because there's a child there. Yeah, those dogs, those not goats. Then you got this woman. It's almost like the Empress because you got these fruits right here, but then you also got this crescent moon. You feel me? It's almost like high priesty vibes. So it's clear that what can we say? Fertility. There's fertility and abundance here. Then there's history. They sails, boats on that jump, but these look like not castle walls, but like city walls and stuff like that. People talking, it's a community and shit like that. You feel me? Generationally. And that's what this card shows. It shows what is it? Mercury and Virgo. So it's about like it's service, yes, but it's like the trade, the communication, all of those things helps to serve and benefit one another, and it's efficient. Everybody kind of got their place. Okay, this lady talking to them. The child kind of curious, looking around, but touching the dog and stuff like that. So it's like, what is Chitra? Chitra shows acute sensory experiences. So it's like, they smell, hear, taste, feel everything that's going on. And it's kind of incredible. It makes them also very shrewd. So yeah. Abundance. I think that's it. I think the Sabian symbol was a man reading ancient knowledge. So using ancient knowledge as a foundation moving forward. What has been working? What did work? Oh, and then going back to that. So if we talk about the Sabian symbol as a man using ancient knowledge as a means for a new foundation, this lady, Estrella, she represents truth, justice, the higher cosmic form of justice. You feel me? Prior to the formation of Libra growing in this constellation as we went into the dark ages and Kali Yuga, it was just like Estrella, goddess of justice, harvest, and then Scorpio. But after the Bronze Age or Copper Age, she had decided to just leave. She was like, I gotta get out of Earth because it's too chaotic. It's just a mess. so dark and Chitra. It's the last star of this constellation. It was like it's just too dark. I'll be back when the ages and the tides shift, but as it stands now, I just want, what is she there for? What's some other stuff? Moon is, I thought about this for a second, right? Let me bring up Star Wars. Moon, if this is first house, and it is ascendant, it's first house. Moon is lord of the 11th house. Chitra is also ruled by Mars. Mars gives Chitra some executive ability, a lot of energy in terms of efforts and actions. God bless you. Yeah, but Mars is in Cancer right now. So Star Lord for Chitra is in Cancer in the 11th house. Moon is 11th Lord of Friends. So I guess during this time it's just like your friends and stuff. You 11th house and some search circles call like your soul tribe and shit like that. But it's like, yeah, that'll be your peoples. You would 11th house is 6 to the 6th house, so it's like the enemy, your enemy is your friend. 6th house being enemy, 6 to the 6th house is the enemy, your enemy. It's like these are people that without a doubt you wouldn't even think twice about. Alright, you got a problem, you need me handle that for you. You want me handle that with you. Like it could be that deep. And Mars is friendly with Moon. He falls in Cancer, but in a way it's a friendly sign. So Mars he only seen falling because he get a little too excited with no boundaries, nothing to kind of like ease up or get him focused, right? So I just thought about that. Moon is 11th Lord, and Moon is in Mars star. So friendships, especially like friendships that was Cancer, like maybe had a break, but it's always this feeling of loyalty and shit like that associated with it. You feel me? Because that's what I was talking about. I kind of just like I just got out of my little karma. Still got other things. We all gonna have karmas, and we all gonna have to decondition, right? Because you come down here a bit as a condition. So we all have certain karmas and shit. But now that I'm out of mind, it's like, okay, cool. That shit really perverted my mind in the sense that it was just like I ain't really want to be bothered. You really you spend a lot of energy just kind of like fighting little depressions and manic episodes and stuff like that, and then you might feel a little guilt and shame and like, man, I ain't really been a good friend. I sat up there, isolated myself. I didn't even tell nobody what I was going through. Woo woo. But I don't want to talk about that either. I kind of like that shit is done. How are you? What's been going on? Type business. So yeah, I think I'm done.